In these following reflections on my junior primary placement, I'm focusing on three particular standards and focus areas. In the next slide, Standard 4, Focus 4.4 on the maintenance of student safety. On the slide after that, Managing challenging behaviours, Standard 4, Focus 4.3. And in the last slide, I'm focusing on my learning needs, which is Standard 6, Focus Area 6.1. Going into a positive education school was an enormous learning curve for me. I was unfamiliar with this approach to teaching and learning and found myself doing some very quick research. It is based on the positive psychology model and focuses on positive emotions, engagement in activities, relationship building, finding meaning in learning, and celebrating achievements. Students are given responsibility for their own learning and encouraged to follow a positive approach to learning by developing personal attributes such as perseverance, resilience, confidence, and curiosity. They are also praised for being self-aware and responsible for their learning tasks, and collaborative work is also a major component of their learning. Where possible, in the small time I was there, I tried to adapt my lessons and my teaching to align with this approach and with the school's values. Part of this was to present a weekly well-being lesson based on the school's values. I led lessons in kindness, trust, and being thankful, which helped to maintain an emotionally safe learning environment for the children. The lessons were all very well received, and I will continue to include them in my future teaching. In the first example, a child with a sensory processing disorder was clicking his tongue loudly during a quiet whole class sharing activity. While I was aware of it, I did not see that others were being distracted by it, so I ignored the behaviour. Later, the behaviour changed to him slapping his hands onto his knees, causing some children to lose focus and turn around. I asked if he needed some calming time and suggested he move to his table for some quiet drawing, which he did. In the second example, a child was sobbing alone at the end of lunch play and was refusing to join his class, who were already on their way to assembly. Having built a strong relationship with him, I explained that as teachers, it was our job to keep him safe at school, and to do that, we needed to know where he was. I asked if he would come with me, and I offered to sit outside with him as long as we first made contact with his class teacher to let her know that he was safe. He agreed, and by the time we had made our way to the gym, he had calmed down sufficiently and was able to come inside, speak to his teacher to let her know that he was safe, and then he was able to join his classmates for assembly. While I feel that I made some progress in regard to managing the timing of lessons, I suspect this will remain a professional learning goal throughout my teaching career. Every teacher seems to struggle at some point, no matter how experienced they may be. An important message for me to remember, though, is to allow enough time to conclude the activity properly and allow time for effective transitions between the lessons for the children, even if the amount of work completed in the time is not what I had expected. My second learning goal, and without doubt the biggest challenge during my placement, is managing behaviour whilst working with individuals or small groups. When the class gathers as a whole, it is much easier to notice unproductive behaviour and to intervene quickly before the behaviour escalates. However, when working closely with individuals, particularly those requiring a high level of support, the off-task and unproductive behaviours of the remainder of the class are much harder to keep in check. There were lessons where I felt I did not manage the whole class effectively, and this has also been identified by my supervising teachers as an area for future growth.